Heading into our final today here on Khaldor TV with the ZOTAC Cup Best of 3 series between Gamers2 and NaVi. And this is going to be a good one. Gamers2, they play with Kaelthas here, they pick the new hero, and on the other side we're having NaVi. And you could already see in the games before in the tournament that NaVi was more focused on the traditional compositions. They're running once again with Muradin, which is one of the heroes that kind of benefited from the patch since he is very, very tanky still, whereas other tanks got kind of nerfed when it came to their sustainability a bit. So once again it's Muradin for NaVi, this time again together with Tyrande for the snipe and just for the map roam. And here on the first map in the Best of 3 series, we're having them going up against Gamers2 with the Kaelthas composition that we're going to witness now. So let's jump straight into game number 1 to try and find out who takes the lead in the Best of 3 series at the ZOTAC Cup final. The first game at the ZOTAC Cup final in the match between Gamers2 and NaVi. Starting to the left side of our first map of the Best of 3 series, we are seeing Breeze on Muradin for NaVi. We have Splendor on Uther. Eternal is playing Illidan in this game. Shrimpy, Tyrande and Celium once again, of course, on his Vala. What else? To the right side of the map we are seeing Gamers2, and they are playing with ADRD on Kaelthas. We have Nika on Sylvanas, Shihu on Tyrael, Yubo on ETC, and Leo from Korea is playing Brightwing here. The bans in the game, we saw Zagara banned out in this match actually, and also a ban on Anubarak, who's very popular right now after the last patch. In this case now, it's a double tank that we're seeing on the side of Gamers2 against a single tank on the side of NaVi. And there's our roaming squad with Tyrande and Muradin. It's extremely strong, of course, having that stun into stun with the Ranger's Mark taken on level 1 as the talent. Reverberation is still the talent for Muradin though, but that doesn't take anything away from the Stormbolt. And Kaelthas is being played with Mana Addict on level 1. The last time that we saw the hero was by XESC that played him. And what they were trying to do, were running it with a heal on level 1, but in this case it is the Mana Addict. It helps Kaelthas a lot in the early and the mid game, since his combo in general is very mana heavy, and later on in the game you don't usually have a lot of mana problems, but early on it's definitely an issue, and this is something that we could see there. Eternal jumping out of the game and immediately back in. Oh, Nika actually moving in and spotting Shrimpy and Breeze, and they move back immediately. Well done, that trap didn't work out for them just yet. Mid lane, that's where we're currently seeing Shihu going up against Splendor. The talent with Smite on Tyrael on level 1 is the obvious choice for him. We're having Bribe on Brightwing. It's actually cool to see that Brightwing is choosing Bribe a little bit more often. Not quite sure what exactly he wants, but yeah. Yuba and Eternal are currently down at the top lane here. So we're having Eternal now in position on Illidan. We're having Splendor in the mid lane, and he's currently going up against the Shihu. So it is once again that battle between the two melee heroes here, but at the top lane that's where we're having our tri-lane for the both of them, where most of the trouble starts. Nika, Leo from Korea and ADRD are currently there. Celium, Breeze and Shrimpy are going up against each other. And yep, right now we're having, of course, still that attempt to just lock somebody down with Breeze and Shrimpy in this case. Oh, and there it is. Yes, nice done. And oh my god, did they wreck that. Very well done here. So great job on the side of NaVi taking that kill. We're having Shrimpy and Breeze currently trying to go for the first shrine here. I actually think I know what Celium is talking about. I think that's actually a pretty bad manner, what he just says. Well, no, maybe not bad manner, but yeah, he's basically saying Gamers2 is abusing stream to know that they were hiding up there with their roaming squad. Well, that's not quite possible because you have a pretty big delay on stream actually. So yeah, I'm sorry Celium, but that was definitely not the reason. These guys are just pretty good, that's it. So right now we're having the 4th talent also taken, and that's again the Netherwind, which so far established itself as the standard level 4 talent on the hero right now. We're seeing as the other level 4 talents now the focus on the power slide once again, with Sylvanas in this case taken out. So that roaming squad that we're seeing for NaVi is definitely doing a whole lot of work. It was amazing already to see that against XESC. They've been doing really well here. And at the same time we have Celium playing against, again his build with Vampiric Assault. I've explained that actually a lot in the past, so we're not going to go over that again, but the quick reason why you take that talent is that with the build on Vala shifting away a bit from the multi-shot build, because battle momentum was lost at level 7. You have more options now on level 7, on level 4, and in this case you don't need Arsenal anymore, so we have a bit of extra sustain for the lane sustain here on him. We're having, at the same time now, in the mid lane, also Splendor still holding the experience, with Breeze starting up to move in at the top. Up to the top lane there, we have Celium going up against Nika and ADR. Yeah, Breeze is jumping in again, but there's unfortunately no Tyrande for the second stun, or they would have been able to take down Kaelthas again. So in this case, they didn't get the opportunity to drop a third hero. But they still established a slight lead in experience, and that's of course important when it comes to the fight at the bot lane. The earlier level 7 talent is also quite nice, since you have the double stun in this case with the piercing bolt. We see sometimes piercing bolt still taken on level 7. Oftentimes it's battle momentum on Murder now, which allows you to get your skills up a little bit more often. It's also great when you jump in with Dwarf Toss and then start to use your Thunderclap and also go straight for the attack so that you can jump out again if need be. Only need a couple of hits for that. We have Breeze and Celio moving back up at the top. And we have, of course, Cleanse taken here on the side of Uther. No really surprise about that. Oh, Breeze. Yeah, he wants the Stormbolt, hammering that into Kael'thas' face, and I don't blame him. Kael'thas, by the way, with a Fission Bomb now on level 7, and that's where the fun really starts to begin. Level 16 is where he has his strongest talent, but this is definitely a good one on... yeah, he can do a lot of damage with that. Once again, we're having also Unstable Poison taken over Follow Through, which is now called Remorseless on Sylvanas. There comes the, Amplified Healing still taken on Tyrael, by the way, on level 4. Not going for the full smite build here, even though they're running a double tank. Normally you see that mainly mainly taken if you're a solo tank Tyrael, but in this case they really want to keep him alive, apparently. So Shihu is still down here. We have him also with the battle momentum taken, and Brightwing with a gust of healing for this particular setup right now. They really need to keep Kael'thas alive. That's going to be very important. He's going to put a lot of hurt on the opponent. He has so much damage. Oh, the stun against ETC, and oh my god, like these stun comps. I mean, I've been talking about it earlier. If you have that triple stun against your opponent, you're just in an incredible position. You'll start it off with a Stormbolt, go into the Tyrande stun, and then Uther can throw another one in, and with a Hunter's Mark or the Ranger's Talent, you go straight for the kill here. And they really blow these individual heroes to pieces, and that's of course the big strength of this comp, at least right now. So level 10 is hitting. Searing attacks on level 7 for Vala. No surprise there. Standard talent. I haven't seen... Sometimes we see something else. Like, very occasionally you see other talents taken on level 7, but it does mostly happen when you go for a completely different build. Oh, Metamorphosis! And the kill against Sylvanas! Look at that! He's actually still alive. Eternal is still alive. The kill against ETC, and NaVi is currently wrecking their opponents. 5-0 kills. Very well done here. I mean, they are controlling the flow of the game completely. Gamers2 is currently trying to somehow stabilize again, but once again they're losing a hero. And still no level 10, now finally hitting for Gamers2, but NaVi is doing such a good job here. They have the Divine Shield now on his, Uther. That of course helps especially Illidan, and Illidan, the focus shifts more towards him. I mean, we've been talking about this a bit at the beginning of the match. It's really that roaming comp that does so well, but now that we're having the heroic abilities for both of the teams in there, you will see a bit more Illidan action in those battles. Doesn't mean that the snipe can't happen anymore with those stuns, but Illidan is going to be extremely valuable for the team. Phoenix once again over Pyroblast. As mentioned before, it's the talent for pro players to take right now. It's very good for zoning. The cooldown is ridiculously low, and especially if you want to zone a temple, you can of course use it here. We're having the Mosh Pit taken. That's something that I mentioned during the draft phase already, that ETC with the Mosh Pit is actually quite interesting right now. Of course, you can still go for the stage dive, and the Crowd Pleaser talent on level 20 is pretty fun with that, but in this case it is the Mosh Pit, and some lockdown is really needed. One of the problems with Mosh Pit though is that they have a lot of stuns against them that can really deal with that. We're seeing also, besides that, Judgment taken, and this is really where they might be able to do some damage. The problem is they're losing heroes all over the map. That's the big issue for Gamers2 right now. They're losing heroes everywhere. All the time, Breeze, Shrimpy, and Celium are just moving in, taking kill after kill. Down here, they take out Uther. Finally, the first kill for Gamers2. The Polish team, they are still at one level, even more than a level behind in this case, actually. A bit of a dance there that we're seeing by Uther. Quite interesting, but of course the top fort is already down, as you can see here. So right now it's really all about the moves for Gamers2 on the map. They need something. They have their talent down already, meaning that we're having Thunderstrike in this case on the side of Muradin. We're having a Shrink Ray for Uther, who did not go into a potential spell shield. Didn't get that here. And we're having also now the evasion talent taken, Overflowing Light and Frost Shot. Yep, and the silence and the kill against Illidan. They isolate him, they pick him off on the map. Well done here. Frost Shot is of course one of those things where that combines very well with the composite arrow. That's the main part of why you are taking these multi-shot talents in the first place right now. Very important to get that control in the fight. You can unhorse somebody, you can slow them down when they're trying to run away, or it helps you with the escape too. So, yeah. We're having, once again, now with 2 kills against 7, Gamers2 trying to start their comeback here. With a chain bomb, which is also happening here, so the living bomb explosions applied to enemies in this case. The 16 talent is going to be a very important one. One of the things that you oftentimes see on level 13 as well is the increased range on the flame strike. That helps with your 16 talent for the synergy, if you really want to do that, but of course living bomb is the main focus for most of the builds, and that's why we're seeing that level 7 talent, and we'll also see the 16 talent that we've already been talking about. We have again the face melt taken on level 13. Relentless was lost to ETC. Oh, and yeah, he would love Relentless in this game because getting rid of all those stuns is super important. Eternal jumping in. Uther is there. Divine Shield can be applied if he's in trouble, and they are rushing away right now. Another stun could hit any second. They're getting one, but they should be able to get away here. Tyrande also using it, and here comes the power slide to safety as Juve jumps out. So Tyrande, a lot of ults actually used, especially by NaVi in this case. We're having Wailing Arrow back in just a few seconds, and the cooldown on especially Phoenix is of course very, very low, but for another 50 to 80 seconds we don't have those heroics for NaVi anymore, but NaVi still trying to fight. They're moving in, there's only 2 heroes, they get the double stun off, and ADRD and Nika are down before anything else happens. Chiku is jumping in, tries to go for Vala. Not sure if they might have been better off moving back here, but they engaged into the battle regardless, and now they're losing Tyrael too. Tyrael is down, and Eternal jumping in to take on Juve. They body block him away. Oh god. He was also stunned and locked down. Couldn't really use power slide back anymore. And with 16 talents now in the game, we're having NaVi in a dominant position once again. 11 kills against only 2. They are doing really well here. Stone Form, Benediction, a double blood for blood, and also the Shooting Star are currently being taken by the team. And now it is, of course, time for NaVi to drop a keep. At least that's what they were trying to. But there comes the defense. They need to be super careful, though, that they don't go too far, because NaVi could turn this around any second now. ETC is going to be back in a couple of seconds, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. But yeah, they need to be super careful. Right now, they have to aim for level 16. They need the additional talent, and before they get that, it's very difficult for them to fight. NaVi is controlling the flow of the game and the map, can take the temple at the bot lane and put more pressure, especially on the fort that still exists on the bottom lane. We could also see, of course, them to try and attempt take boss here. They're still an entire, like 2 levels ahead, and they have an entire talent, which is great. Gamers2 is currently trying to somehow stabilize in this game again. And keep in mind, like, these 2 teams are absolutely amazing. If you go to stormcraft.com and check out the European ranking, you'll see that NaVi is currently holding the 2nd spot in the ranking, whereas Gamers2 is on rank 3. They're very, very close in points, and whoever wins this best of 3 series is going to take the number 2 spot. Well, NaVi is either going to keep it if they win here, or Gamers2 is going to advance. But right now, NaVi is playing this really well. But the 16 talent is going to be there in a second. And as I said before, the level lead is nice, the extra stats are cool, but what you really want is that talent, that 16 talent. Pressure against the bot lane, by the way, dropping already the wall. 16 talent any second right now, and that is going to give us quite a lot of potential. Double blood for blood can, for example, be applied. 16, there it is. Ignite with the flame strike, applying living bomb to heroes. That's an important talent to take. That's a really important one to take here. So with this and the increased radius on flame strike, thanks to your veteran spheres, this is something where you can really do a whole lot of work if your opponent clusters up and you get a good one in. Imposing presence on ETC for the survivability, and Critterize. And now they're starting to fight. Kaelthas is going to be so important here right now. They need a good flame strike behind this. They need to make sure that those living bombs are doing damage. And then they can also try to apply the double blood for blood on somebody. Ah, the initiation is right there! The silence against 3! Kaelthas is in, here comes the Phoenix, the kill against Illidan. Great, that heal was so important, and just look at that dance! Nothing that Uther can do here. Once again, Celium with an attempt to use his stray for the extra damage. He's rushing away already, gets attacked, but oh my god, this is Gamers2 trying to start a comeback here, but they lose Tyrael. He gets locked down once again, the stun against Splendor. Here come the bombs, Celium survives, but Uther doesn't. Oh wow, suddenly the rage is real. Gamers2 is going in and starting to do some work. 4 kills against 12 now. Is that the start of a comeback, or was it just merely a quiet fluke? Oh, ADRD. Oh, the dodge on the stun for a second, but he is... What? He gets away? No, the owl in the face! The owl! Oh, wow! The owl kills him. Schwimpy with a value owl right there. I couldn't believe that he was getting away in the first place, but that owl hitting home, trying to hide behind the wall. Sneaky, sneaky, but yeah, not gonna work, my friend. Oh my god, like that battle just now. 18 versus 18. Gamers2, they still caught up a bit, not too much, so they're still gonna hit 20, or of course much slower than their opponent. But still, this is something. You can really tell how the Flame Strike is now working with those living bombs that he can apply. Look at the damage for a second. Kaelthas still not really doing too much work. He's at 20,000 against 26,000 hero damage. We're having 34,000 on Vala in this case. But this is an opportunity, at least, for them to do a bit better. The 20 talent is going to be extremely important, and of course on this map, if you control the temples, you can really also end the game. We're having the mid temple already taken, and NaVi is moving up to the top, trying to just jump in here. Now, with the unstable poison, they should be able to really take that wave out in a flash, but they are about to jump in once more. The heroic abilities are up. Mosh Pit in 4 seconds. Mosh Pit is not ready just yet. Juve goes in. There's the Mosh Pit. He can't go use it. It doesn't just yet. Invulnerable becomes the spell shield on Muradin in this case. They needed to save him, meaning of course that Illidan is a bit exposed here right now. But at this time, we're having them moving up to the temple. No judgment just yet. There he goes, judgment! Whoa! And they're trying to blow him away. Goodbye, Illidan. Once again, he's dead, but the kill against Shiku as well. Shiku is dead, tries to get the damage in. The Juve made them dance. Splendor is now down 2. Breeze with a good stun against ETC, trying to move away once again on his Muradin, but in comes ETC with a power slide, trying to take him out. ETC dropped! And ADRD and Nika, the only 2 survivors next to Brightwing. They're all trying to somehow turn this around, especially the silence against Vala could help with the polymorph. They're trying to go for it. The Phoenix once again used, but the kill against Kaelthas and Brightwing. And NaVi taking this. The 20 talent now finally there. Nika running. Schwimpy, where's the owl? Where's the value owl? He's dodging it. Oh my god, but how did he do that? How did he dodge that multi-shot? Oh my god, like I thought that hit. I really thought that hit. That must have been like a millimeter that was missing there. Holy crap, that game. 7 kills against 17. The first keep down, but this isn't over just yet. Looking at the damage again, just to give you a bit of an idea. By now, Kaelthas has 33,000. Sylvana still at 37, leading the ranks for the team. But of course, Vala here with 50,000 damage. This is pretty damn good. Very well done here. So right now we're having Schwimpy, actually Schwimpy, he survives! Oh my god, Sylvana's trying too hard. Wow, trying too hard, and now they might lose way too much. Would have been a great kill, of course. Judgment, but the cleanse against the stun is there, and they're killing Shiku. Oh, that was diving way too deep here. They're trying to go for the Phoenix, but it's already too late. You can't zone out this one. 20 talent is there, but still no talent, by the way, picked on the side of Uther, which is a bit weird. Looks actually like if this is a bit of a bug. Not quite sure what happened there. No, Storm Shield is now picked very late, actually. And they are moving in, but yeah, this is of course trouble. Rebirth on the Phoenix has been chosen, but I don't think it's going to matter at all. It's the team kill once again, and they're going for the core. Very unfortunate here, very unfortunate indeed. That last move, a bit too much. Nika wanted to be a hero, and it is the downfall of Gamers2 in game number 1. But of course, we're going to see at least one more map between these 2 teams. Great play by NaVi, GG, well played, very well executed, and game number 1 therefore won by NaVi, and we are going to head into game number 2 immediately.
NaVi, they take it on Sky Temple. They roam the map and drop hero after hero. They get ahead, and it was not exactly the same dominant performance that we saw from NaVi against the ex-ESC squad, but it was still pretty damn strong what they showcased here. Especially at the end, of course, Gamers2 maybe with a chance to come back. Nika saw a kill, went maybe a bit too deep. He gets killed, and suddenly that attempted comeback just fails, and Gamers2, they lose the game in the end. A very solid effort by the Polish team nonetheless, and of course now we have still NaVi in the lead in the best of 3 series. So Gamers2, they have to win 2 in a row right now if they want to win the ZOTAC Cup final. Game number 2 is on Cursed Hollow, and now we're actually seeing once again Kaelthas in the composition for Gamers2. But they also started to adjust a bit to what NaVi did in the last few games and banned out Muradin. So right now we're having a bit of an adjustment on the side of NaVi as well, who decided to go into Tyrande in combination with Diablo, which of course works as well when you're talking about a roaming squad on the map. If Gamers2 can beat it this time, or if they once again fall victim to their opponent's roaming squad, that's something that we're going to find out on the second map here in the best of 3 series. So guys, stay tuned. Coming up next is Cursed Hollow with NaVi versus Gamers2.
Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. It is the final of the ZOTAC Cup, the best of 3 series between NaVi and Gamers2, and NaVi is in the 1-0 lead against Gamers2. Great game that they played in the first map. They relied heavily on the Muradin and Tyrande comp, which is one of the reasons why Muradin got banned out by Gamers2. Right now NaVi is playing to the left side with Shrimpy on Tyrande again. Eternal is playing Jaina. We have Breeze playing Diablo, and there is Splendor on Malfurion. Cilium is playing Vala. And currently, to the right side of the map, it is Gamers2 again with ADR on Kaelthas, and Uburak played by Shihu. We have Yuva on ETC, Nika on Sylvanas, and Leo from Korea on Brightwing. And NaVi banned Illidan against them, so this time we had first pick, first ban on the side of Gamers2, and therefore NaVi trying to just shut down that Illidan composition that Gamers2 really loves to play. The Muradin banner, of course, a respect ban, because that combo was really working extremely well for them. And there it is, look at Diablo, that's what we wanted to see here, the terror charge. Anti-hero let us down earlier when ESC was playing, or ex-ESC. He just used the old mount, which was actually very disrespectful to Diablo, because let's face it, Diablo should only run on one mount, and that's the one. It's really terrifying. If you play the game and that thing runs towards you, you are just like, oh my god, let me get out of there. Right now, of course, we're having in the early game here in Cursed Hollow still the lane split with 3 at the top, and Uburak has taken the bottom lane. Shihu is going up against Cilium here, and this is the roaming squad that NaVi is going to try to use this time instead of Muradin. We have the same stun thought process behind it, and changed builds. Block taken on Diablo on level 1. Diablo, of course, was changed a lot. He feels pretty cool right now, actually. So I'm curious to see how they're going to build it. Most of the players are going for a build that focuses a lot on Firestomp, so that you can do a lot of damage with Diablo as well. The battle momentum on 7 then, for example. And they're already trying to make that happen. We have the Mana Addict again as the level 1 talent on Kaelthas. Very often seen, actually, in most of the games. It's just so nice to have that extra mana in the early and in the mid game when you heavily rely on your mana pool for your whole combination. So it's one of the things that a lot of players have been going for. We're seeing at the same time now, in terms of like change talent, no Conjurer's Pursuit of Malfurion, but instead it is the Scouting Drone. Vision on this map, of course, extremely important, especially when you know that you have to deal with opponents that are trying to initiate with an Uburak here, trying to rush in. Talking about an Uburak, no Beetle build for him just yet. Full Beetle build is being played these days by Shinobu for Fnatic. He's trying to play that a lot. In this case, it's still the extended range on Impale on level 1. We've seen adjustments with level 4 and level 7 Beetle talents taken on the hero. That could happen in this game now once again. The Power Slide build on the side of ETC, no big surprise there. And you can really tell that Gamers2 is playing extremely passive here. They're saying, we know there's a roaming squad. We know it's there. So we have to deal with that somehow, and just try and play safe. Oh, but there comes the stun! Nice! Really well done by Nika. Good job. Jumping away from that, and that was a very good move here. We also have Netherwind taken on the side of Kaelthas once again. There's the first Beetle talent on level 4 now. And besides that, it is again Vampiric Assault. And we've talked about that Vampiric Assault build a lot. It makes sense to just adjust the level 4 talent on the multi-shot build now that battle momentum is gone. And that's exactly what Cilium does. Another hero, another player that does that a lot is Chris playing for Dignitas, who oftentimes plays either with the arrow or goes even into Manticore when he wants to amplify the damage that he does with his auto attacks, since the level 7 talent for most of the players these days is searing attacks anyways. Right now, the first tribute in the hands of NaVi, but experience is actually looking pretty good for both of the teams. We're having once again the Fire Devil taken on Breeze's Diablo. And I mean, if there is one specialist for Diablo out there, it's definitely Breeze. He's the one that has been playing that hero so often in the last patch. He is definitely an expert on the hero, and we are going to take a very close look at his talent. In this case, Devils do not taken. That's what we've seen earlier already today when we saw Diablo for the first time. We have block, so he's of course not as tanky as he was in the past since he was changed, but right now that block is making up for just a bit. It can actually help you really a whole lot here. Down there, you once again utilizing that power slide build. Breeze jumps in. Nice jump. Nika, very well played. In the last second, using the Haunted Wave to jump away. No kills just yet, but it's really close. Like, both of the teams are just aiming for that kill, especially, of course, that roaming squad that we're seeing for NaVi here. In regards to builds, level 7 talents are happening for both of the teams just before that level, that second tribute at the bottom of the map comes in. It is battle momentum on Diablo, indeed. We're having him once again lying in wait, trying to take a hero down. It's Frostbitten on level 7 for Jaina. We're having, of course, Searing Attack for Vala, and also, in this case, the Enduring Growth on Malfurion. But on the other hand, there's the Fission Bomb now, and with that you can start doing quite some significant damage on Kaelthas. The Beetle build, again, Unstable Poison on Sylvanas, and nice, going for that stun, but it doesn't really matter. The cancel on the tribute channel was already happening. Top lane, that's where we have two heroes still going up against each other, but in this case the setup is just too good already. Good positioning for Gamers2, and basically what NaVi says there, like, alright, let this one go. It's only the first one for them. We don't really care too much about it. We would have to, first of all, they would have to extend quite a bit, and also, if there is really a commitment, the threat is always there that Leo jumps down and with Brightwing and helps them out and turns them into a 5 versus 4, whereas of course Eternal on the top lane was also soaking and can just not bridge that distance fast enough. So in this case it makes sense for them to just let it go. It's only the first one, soak the experience and just like play the game right now and rely then also on their talents later. But you can really tell that the momentum is not going as much in NaVi's favor as it was in the first game, where they were really able to get a lot of kills with Muradin and Jaina. Oh! Muradin and Tyrande, of course I meant. Good escape by Shiku here, very well done. And we're also seeing Breeze, Shrimpy and Celium now down here doing their thing again. Well, up to the top lane, let's see real quick what exactly... is you be able to do some damage against Splendor? Nah, not really. And Breeze is jumping in, gets an horse, jumps in, there comes the... Ah, nice dodge. Very well done. They're actually putting quite a lot of damage on Breeze in this Diablo here. Juve is still on very nice HP, half HP actually, could use them well I suppose. And we're having both of them starting to channel up at the top. In this case, it's actually NaVi who's a bit ahead with that. But can they? Yep, they interrupt. They interrupt in the last second, but Brightwing gets blown to pieces, and Juve is about to die. Oh, that power slide range. It's such a great talent. The level 1 and level 4 talent, they're just really great. Oh, they're trying to get the kick against Nika, and they get it. Very well done. NaVi once again really showing no mercy here against their opponent, getting the kill again. We have Strafe on Celium once more, Apocalypse, Starfall, the Water Elemental, and Tranquility. So it's very much, I don't really want to say it's an old school build, because of course Diablo got changed quite a bit. But if you talk about new meta, if you talk about hero compositions, NaVi is playing with a very old school composition at that. Trying to get the roaming squad with Tyrande and Diablo, getting the kills in early, and in those fights relying heavily on heroes that didn't really get changed too much, except for Diablo of course. Whereas Gamers2 is trying to just use those new talents, those new heroes, much more. But so far, without luck, and as I said, at the bot lane, there was Shiku and Jove successful against Vala, but actually Anubura close to dying. This is an important tribute right now. Great timing for the kill against Vala. I don't think that NaVi has a chance to really contest that. We're probably going to see an owl by Shrimpy and trying to just like lock that out, but they should be able to get that. 6 seconds on Vala. They could actually like stop for that long, I suppose. And they're moving in already. ETC could jump in here, stage dive. We have also once again the Phoenix, great on this map of course for zoning. On this map it's really good for zoning. Nice stage dive, really well done. The Phoenix is already there. Wow, the silence, the wailing arrow coming in. That was a very nice comp that we saw. Stage dive, Phoenix, Starfall, everything coming into play here. Extremely well played, and of course after that kill they have a secure tribute. They had 2 heroes still blocking in case that Tyrande shoots another owl and is able to abort the channel, but that wasn't the case. The experience lead still on the side of NaVi though, since they had Eternal at the bottom lane getting the experience. So very important. Oh wow, here comes the lockdown, and Nika It's really cool to see that, by the way. Against lesser teams, I think Nika would have gotten away because he was really trying to time that haunting wave in a way that all of the stuns would be down by Navi's 2 players here. But they already knew that, of course, as well. And they just timed their stuns in a way that there was never a chance for Nika to jump away with a haunting wave. So really locking them down one after another. Extremely important there. Shiku moving back. And that pressure that Navi is building up is just really great. We have once again Splendor and Eternal down at the bot lane starting to do their thing here against the position. This is an important tribute for both of the teams since it means curse. There's a level 13 talent with Firestorm, Overflowing Light, Ice Block from Malfurion and Frost Shot. So the talents just really well synergizing with the rest that they have here. Of course, if you're going for the Firestorm, you can just do a lot of damage with Diablo. You want to be in the thick of things, so to say. And that Ice Block with Tranquility just works extremely well when you're getting attacked. You can use that Hardened Focus later on. It would help you a lot with that too. Oh, and there comes the jump now that they don't have the 30 talents yet. But Schwippy, he survives and they get a triple kill. Oh my god, Navi, they are wrecking. And at this point, what Gamers2 was thinking was just like, if we get the team fight right now, we have the perfect... Oh my god, it's a team kill. Holy cow. Unbelievable. This is going to be keep. They're just ignoring the fort. They're going straight for the keep. Navi, basically Gamers2 was thinking here, guys, we are a talent behind. We have, but if we take this, then we can kill 1-2 heroes. Then even though we are cursed, we can just pressure against them. We're going to be in a great position. And they had a perfect setup for it. But then Tyrande survives and everything just goes to hell as they get jumped here. They lose too many heroes too fast. Just that lockdown, the damage from Eternal, and of course also the entire strafe that went through by Vala. They get the keep, they get the fort, and now with nearly 16 to 13, this is crazy good. This is amazing for Navi. They are in the lead already in the final here, and Gamers2, if they really want to play the third map and try to make a comeback in the series, they need to start an insane comeback right now. Here comes the 13 talent with a flamethrower. So this is actually quite nice. If you go for the range on Flame Strike, you can poke from a safer distance, and once you get the level 16 talent, you can really start to get a lot of like damage in and really just use that. We have bosses taken. Uh-oh, that's going to be a close call. Oh, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. They don't have the damage. They need to abandon, and they do it. As I said, Hardened Focus taken with the Ice Block here. You can get a lot out of that. So we're having also now Rampage taken. And that's actually pretty cool, because Rampage is one of the talents that a lot of people seem to pick on Diablo right now, and it makes him a bit more mobile. And it also makes him attack faster, which of course combines very well with the battle momentum, which means that during those fights, oftentimes you can just like go from one Firestomp into the next Firestomp, one after another, and really get the damage in. And Diablo is currently only at 8,000, but that's still pretty solid on the level of Tyrande. So it's not too bad, but you can really see later on that the Firestomp is going to do a whole lot. So the closer you get to him, the more damage you'll be able to dish out. Kaelthas is there with 10,000 damage. But yeah, this is where the second boss comes into play. And this keep, can they take it? Phoenix should be there in a second. There it is already, actually. So with the Phoenix, they can start to zone. Kaelthas needs to start to do something. Oh my god, Shiku is trying to get away. He's actually escaped. No! Oh, it was so close. He nearly escaped there. Here comes, of course, also Apocalypse already being used. They keep down. We have Anubarak dead, and they're trying to go for the next target. Phoenix, once again, after the cooldown is over, is being used immediately to just go straight for the zone here, but they can do very little against that. The 2 keeps are fallen. Yeah, they are down. 2 kills against 9. And it's amazing how well Navi plays this game right now. It's really crazy. I mean, ETC even going for the spell shield here, you know. So on 13 you have so many options. You could go for groupies for the heal so that your team at least gets some kind of heal from ETC, which is actually not that bad. It's actually pretty cool. It's the standard talent for most of the teams right now. But if you have this much lockdown, if you have like this much spell damage against you, with of course Tyrande also applying everything, then you are in a situation where you want to have that spell shield, and that's exactly what they're using here. They need the 16 talent. That's why they're trying to blow those waves one after another. They have ETC for the split push, and that is super important for them right now. The 16 talent could save their life here. If they can start a comeback, it's with the 16 talent. If they start a comeback, they have to fight with 16. I don't think they have another chance. Waiting for level 20, I don't feel this is going to do anything for them. They lost 2 keeps already too early, so the 20 talent would allow NaVi to just push in. So it has to be a fight on 16, and that's where we are right now. Ignite is being used, so with Ignite together with Flamethrower, they might be able to get the damage in those fights from Kaelthas and then start turning things around. Especially, of course, with the Critterized Take and a double blood for blood and imposing presence, finally making ETC even a bit more tanky. Oh god, they can't take the camp. They have to fight here. Stunned, and Anubora gets away. Oh, nice jump! Nice jump by Over. The problem is there's no follow-up. Good zoning, of course, with the Phoenix, and well, they lost the camp, but yeah, the jump was actually nice, hitting 4 heroes. The problem just is that everybody else was already trying to move away there. They have to take that fight right now somehow, but they're in such an awkward spot, and NaVi going for the kill and taking it. Breeze goes in with one fire stomp after another one. They lost Jaina, but they still are able to pick up another kill against the Nuburak, and this is, I mean, look at Diablo wrecking damage in for suddenly. He's at 19,000. Compare that to what we've seen earlier. This Firestorm talents, or the Firestomp talents that we see for him, really start to do work, and he out DPS'd Tyrande a lot. Shiku apparently with a few problems here gives us a chance to talk about the game for a second, a bit more. 11 kills against 3. We're having currently another tribute up here. That would be the second tribute for NaVi, so it's not too bad for Gamers2 just yet, but as I said, they need to win a fight on the 16 talents, and if they don't do that, then it is lights out. If you allow your opponent to get 20 and you're 2 or 3 level behind, I mean, what are you going to do? The problem that is going to occur is that with the 20 talent, first of all, NaVi is going to get an easy curse against their opponents, because, well, 20 talents, of course, are incredibly strong. So if you have that talent, your opponent doesn't, you can win the fight for the tribute, and the next tribute fight is the one that really matters. And then also, that keep down there is going to fall as well. Keep also in mind that we're having the bosses coming up in another 50 seconds. So if that's the time that you need to get the 20 talent, you are in an incredible position to get curse against your opponent, to get 1 boss, maybe 2, and then also push in and go straight for the core. So I feel like Gamers2 really has to chase their opponents down right now. I don't think that they are able to really defend for this long, but apparently they are trying to roam the map as 5. They do not have the split push on Juve. They go for Brightwing at the top lane to get close that experience, but I feel it's late already. I think it's too late already. We have level 20 just around the corner for NaVi. NaVi is just around the corner with that, that level. And once they hit 20, oh god, I don't know how Gamers2 is planning on surviving this. They can't lose this game. If they lose here, then it's all over for them. Then the ZOTAC Cup final will be won by NaVi, taking it with a 2-0. NaVi again at the top lane. There comes the tribute. Good position, actually, for Gamers2. Very good position. NaVi is starting to rotate. Can they be there in time? With a good block against the Owl, they might be able to pick this up. That would be a great start, but it looks tricky. Yeah, the timing is not working out for them. NaVi is there. NaVi is there, and they're trying to set up a trap. They're trying to set up a trap. There's Shiku. Are they going to take boss? Schwimpy. And stun once. Here comes the living bomb. And the Phoenix for the zoning. Great position here. They need to block the Owl though. They have 2 heroes. One of them already channeled out. Nice. Do they get the second? Yes, there it is. The tribute. The tribute for Gamers2. Maybe a chance to come back with the help of it. But they still have to fight against an opponent that has level 20. That's the triple Storm Bolt. Only mobility and a couple of Storm Shields. He's jumping away with a stage dive, trying to get out of there. Nika is moving away as well, but he gets taken out. Sylvanas is dead, and Breeze, he rushes in with a Terramond and tries to take down Kaelthas, and there it is. The Kael against Kaelthas, and now it's only a 3 versus 5, and even with the curse against them, NaVi is out for blood. They're moving in once again. They're trying to go for a Diablo by now on 26,000 damage, nearly closing in on Jaina in this case. And at this point, it's just the bottom keep that they want. And they want it bad. The blue team is cursed, but they don't really care. Down here in the bot lane, we have 1 fort actually dying, and they move back. They actually move back. They don't take keep. They don't take the keep. They lose their fort in the process. Does that allow Gamers2 to come back? Does that actually allow Gamers2 to get... to close the distance? They're going to the boss, and this time they have to take it. They cannot allow this to be taken. I mean, this boss here is most likely going to eliminate the keep at the bot lane. They need 20. Oh my god, they need 20. I'm not sure if they can really make that. I mean, NaVi is doing such a great job. And over here, a big wave in the mid lane, but of course, not really helping too much. It's not going to eliminate that fort, and they need every single experience point that they can get. They leave the boss at the top. Oh no, they don't. They actually start to rotate over there. Gamers2, are they gonna get it? It's gonna be so close. Diablo is there, he's too late. Diablo is, oh my god, was that close. Diablo is too late, and they kill him. They kill Diablo. He's gonna be back in 4 seconds. Can they get Shrimpy? And Uburak, here comes the silence, a 4-man silence! And the living bombs are there. Oh, but they're not enough. The storm shields do so much work. It's still level 19 versus 20. Kaelthas is down. Diablo is back. Here comes the stun with Apocalypse. Gamers2, they saw an opportunity, but they get wrecked by the level 20 talent of their opponent. Everybody dead and dying. The Diablo, of course, is back. Oh, wow. Not even with the ice block. Did that just go through the ice block? What just happened there? They just blew everything up. And now the 20 talent, well, they have it, but what good is that going to do them? Nothing. Nothing at all. The team kill. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is NaVi taking the ZOTAC Cup final against Gamers2 with a 2-0 flawless play by them today here. They take it very, very well done. So congratulations to NaVi. Apparently Shihu learned something today, that's always nice, but congratulations of course to NaVi here for taking this with a 2-0. Very impressive performance by them today here in the ZOTAC Cup.
And NaVi with a 2-0 victory against Gamers2. Incredible performance in the tournament here. The roaming squad at the beginning of the game not really doing the damage that they were hoping for. Gamers2 playing a very controlled and passive game here. It took NaVi a lot longer to really get into their normal flow and really start to turn it around and win the match against Gamers2 here. But they did it nonetheless. They had once again very good positioning on the map, a good hold on the map itself. The map control was insane, and they just made sure that they would always get the big objectives here. Not only the curses, but also go straight for the bosses, for example. Of course, that worked out for them extremely well here. So once again, very, very good job by NaVi. They definitely solidified their position here in Europe. And for Gamers2, that of course was still a pretty cool tournament. They were able to come in second place. Probably a bit disappointed that they weren't able to at least win one map against NaVi. And of course, they were also disappointed not winning the final in general. But still, solid performance in the tournament so far. Congratulations again to NaVi, because in this tournament at least, they proved to be absolutely dominant. So a world-class performance by them. The patch so far looking pretty good for Team NaVi, and we're going to see in the next few tournaments, of course, if they can keep that up. If you guys enjoyed the match, if you enjoyed the performance of NaVi here, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. Drop a comment in the comment section if you have any questions, and if you haven't subscribed to Khaldor TV yet, hit that subscribe button. Gonna see you guys next time for more video content here for Heroes of the Storm and Khaldor TV. Have a great day, and bye bye.